Very good. So let's start. So again, as I said before, we're going to be using hand weights when you want, but we're not going to start using them. So we're going to start a little bit different today because we're going to start on the floor. So just move the hand weights away and place on the playlist if you want some music, and just make sure if you want to, you can have a folded towel. You don't need to have a folded towel, but it's just if you feel dizzy lying completely flat, you can do that. So now lie onto your mat, nice and slow. So again, we usually start in standing, but we're going to do a little bit different today. So we're going to finish in standing rather than start in standing. So just take a second, lie onto the mat. You might have had a hassle of a day, so it's nice to start off rather than in standing in an offloading kind of position. So just make sure your head, you're not folded into that towel too high, so it's just in line with the rest of your spine. Take a second to have a feel where your feet are onto the floor, where your shoulders are, where your spine is in space. So just have a minute. Make sure that you are not lying in a diagonal line, so it's not in a diagonal or in an awkward position. Try and aim to have your head, chin, chest, and your pubic bones, so in the middle, that's all in a straight line. Your pelvis lies on either side of that center of your spine, and then your toes, knees, hips, ribs, and shoulders create two parallel lines. So again, just make sure your heels aren't too far away from your hips, bring them a little bit closer in. So we're going to do your warm up into your body lying down. So place your hands onto the floor, relax your shoulders down, and we're going to start by doing an imprinting of your pelvis. So we're going to press your lower back into the floor, and then you relax, you let go. Press down, and then let go. So this is what we call pelvic tilt. So again, we're just pressing nice and slow. So it might feel that you have a little bit less range than you would normally, or if you have a little bit of stiffness or pain, don't push too much into that pain. We're going to ease your body slowly, getting a bit of range first before we start to strengthen. And we have 3, relax, 2, one last one. Very good. Now we're going to keep floating up where we flatten the back, we clench the bottom, we lift halfway, not all the way. And then we drop down, pushing your spine bone by bone down. We're going to repeat that, flattening the back, clenching the bottom, breathing out as we lift halfway, and then come back down. So slowly, slowly, we're articulating that spine. So if you feel that initially all you can do is just clearing off that bottom, it's fine. What you want to really aim for is getting a little bit more movement through that spine. With every lift, I want you to try and aim a little bit higher until you reach the highest bit. If you get any neck pain, you can just remove your towel and keep your head onto the floor, and then coming down, articulating your spine all the way. And again, we flatten, we lift. And then we roll back down. Very good. 4 more. We flatten, we lift. Reach as far as you're comfortable going. So this is instead of us doing roll downs to begin with. 2. And drop it down. 1 more. And again, it's important to breathe in and out as we get along. Very good. Now let's focus a little bit onto those shoulders and shoulder blades. Again, hands flat onto the floor. We're going to press the shoulder blades down into the mat. So that shoulders that are lifted off the floor, you're going to press them down. And then you're going to hover the shoulders slightly up towards the ceiling, but keep your palms touching the mat. So we drop down and we lift up. I want you to try and do this without arching or flattening your back. So try and focus mostly onto that upper back movement. So it's almost like imprinting your shoulder blades down into that mat and then lifting them off. Try and keep your shoulders away from your ears. 1 more. Very good. And now imprint down, shoulders away from the ears. Lift those hands up and over your head. Keep your rib cage down and then drop it down. Breathing in, lifting up and over. Keeping rib cage down and down. Breathing in, up and over. Thinking of those shoulder blades still pressed down onto their mat. For 4, up and over. 3, and down. Very good. 2, and down. 1 more. And then we're going to hold halfway where your hands are right on top of those shoulders. Turn palms in and over. So turning palms up and then turn palms down. Turn palms up and then turn palms down. So we're rotating into that shoulder blade and shoulder socket. Working into that capsule of your shoulder, releasing it slowly. Sometimes if you have any rotator cuff issue, it might be tighter on one side than the other. If you have ever suffered from frozen shoulder, this might be tight to do. So it'd be a nice, easy exercise to loosen up through that shoulder capsule. 3, 2. Now hold the palms facing in. We're going to reach one hand towards the top of the opposite, and then we drop it down. So whilst we do this, your chest will start to rotate slowly. We lift up, we drop down. We lift up, we drop down. We lift up. You want to keep your pelvis steady, but we are mobilizing through the top of your spine. We have 5, and down. 4, and down. 3, down. 2, down. 1 more. Now turn palms down and a bit more mobility through the arms. We're going to softly bend those elbows down towards the floor and then reach back up. Drop down. Reach back up. Again, warming up through those upper shoulders. 4. We're going to do a little bit more upper body work later on. So just starting that opening into that shoulder and activation through your muscles. 3, 2. Now keep the elbows down. We're going to bring your right hand down and your left hand up. Reach as far as you can towards the floor without lifting too much from the shoulder. And then come back to the middle. Opposite. Now you want to keep it within a range where you don't lift the shoulder to compensate, because that starts to create a narrow space for the structures in the shoulder and it will start to give you a bit of pain. So you really don't want to push into any pain. We're trying to get a bit of range. Slowly. 3, 2, 1 more. Very good. Bring the arms up, float them back down. Very good. Last bit is to mobilize a bit where your rib cage is, so into a bit of breathing. So we're going to bring your hands into that big C shape where your thumb goes towards the back and your fingers on the front of your chest on both sides. And we're going to take a breath in, heels a bit closer to your bottom. Breathe into the hands and then breathe out. And as we breathe out, we sink a little bit the hands down. Breathe in into the hands. Breathe out. Again, breathe in. And breathe out. 3 more. Breathe in. And breathe out. 2 more. Breathe in. And breathe out. 1 last one. Breathe in. And breathe out. Very good. Now slide those ribs towards the hips and keep that lower back in that neutral position. So we're going to keep that lower back in that halfway position. You can slide your hand to make sure that you're nice and center. We're going to start with a little bit of opening through your hips. We're going to slide the leg away. Flex your toes towards your face, so that will give you a stretch through your back of your leg. We lift it up to stretch through your spine. Drop it down, and then we slide it up again. So opposite again. So we slide the leg without arching the back. Flex your toe. We lift up, down, and then fold. Slide, flex and lift, drop, fold. Slide, flex and lift, drop, fold. So this is also the part that we do in standing to stretch the back of your legs. So sometimes we do a fold where we bend and stretch the back of your knees. This is to stretch through your hamstrings and your calf and into the lower back. Now, most of the time, if you're sitting for a prolonged period of time during the day, it will get stiff and will tend to pull into your pelvis, into your pelvic floor, into your lower back, creating a little bit more tightness than what your body would like. And that's where pain switches on. So just do a few more. You'll notice every time you lift the leg, you're getting a bit more range. 3, 2, and we're just keeping your fingers and your thumbs just to make sure that we're not moving from that nice neutral position too much. Last one, finish off on the left side if you can. And then keep your knees and bring your knees closer together, feet together. Open your arms. Last one in your mobility work. We're going to rotate your knees to one side. Try and keep those shoulder blades as far as you can close to the mat, and then come back. So breathe in, we rotate. We breathe out, we come back. Very good. Breathe in. Breathe out. Again, you can have your head pillow if you want underneath your head. It's entirely up to you. You can also rotate your head the opposite way that your knees go. This will also give you a little bit of release work into your neck. So we rotate, and we come back. 4, and we come back. 3, we come back. 2, we come back. 1 more. Well done. And now just hold knees towards the chest and rock a little bit side to side, giving your back a little bit of a traction. You can go into circles if you like. Very good. 3, 2, 1. And then go the other way. 3, 2, 1. Very good. Drop your legs down. Very good. So now your body is quite mobile and awake. A little bit of stiffness we have addressed. So we're going to start working through a little bit more strengthening. So in standing, we do a lot of leg work. We're going to start off with your glutes. So we're going to go into that bridge exercise. Again, if you have any neck issues, remove any head pillows. Hands by your side. We're going to fold. So we're going to flatten the back. We're going to breathe out, and we're going to scoop all the way up. We're going to hold it there. We're going to start by a heel lift. So alternating heel lift. So what we're really looking for is ribs in line with hips, very minimal movement through your pelvis, and we're trying to aim for that single leg load. Again, tuck a little bit that tailbone, not too much. We're engaging your glutes. And again, if you're happy, reach and hover your hands over the shoulders, right towards the ceiling. This will give you less stability. But if you feel that you still are a little bit wobbly onto your feet, drop the hands down and keep your hands by your side. We alternate for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now hold it up. If you need a break, roll all the way down. We're going to hover into that scissor leg. So we're going to hover one leg, and then we drop it down. We hover the opposite. We drop it down. So again, hands can be right above the shoulders towards the ceiling. What you're trying to do here is activating the opposite bottom when you're loading and lifting the other leg. So if you're lifting your right leg, you want to squeeze your bottom of your left. If you're lifting your left leg, you want to squeeze your bottom of your right. And keep alternating. We have 3. We have 2. We have 1 more. And then hold. Hover the hands if they're on the floor, and then we come down from the top of your spine, middle of your spine, your bottom, and then we drop the hands. Very good. So now rather than lifting the legs so that you can alternate the switching, we're going to keep them both up. This is where you can have weights if you want to. So if you want to have weights, we're going to use that. So we're going to go up again into that shoulder bridge. This time we're going to hold. So this is an isometric hold of your glutes. What I want you to do is hover the hands up, and we're going to go into bilateral hands, and then we do the scissors to switch. So we reach hands overhead, and then we come back to center. We breathe in, we breathe out. We breathe in, we breathe out. So whilst you're in this position, I want you to think of sliding those sitting bones towards each other, clenching a little bit more your bottom. You're not pushing through your chest, but you are using your bottom to lift. Don't allow your knees to roll out, and keep your ribs in line with your hips. So if you think this is a little bit too much with the weights, drop the weights. You can either drop one and then share one weight with both hands, or you can drop both and do the exact same thing without dropping any weight. So we have two more, then we switch into the scissors with the arms only. One last one. Now hold it there. We drop the right down, lift the left, and then we switch and we switch. Keep clenching that bottom up high. Don't drop it. For 4 and switch. 3, switch. 2, switch. One more. Now we manage. We're going to try alternate those heels. So we lift the left heel as the right is up, and then we switch. And then we switch. Don't worry if you don't manage to coordinate. Just go for 4, 3, 2, one last one. Very good. Drop the weights down and drop yourself all the way down. And if you need a bit of a stretch, pull your knees to chest. Well done. Very good. Take a breath in. Breathe out. One more. Breathe out. Very good. Lower the legs down. Let's switch on a little bit your abdominal work. So again, weights aside if you have them. Don't worry if you don't. You're going to bring your hands right up and over, and then interlace your hands and place them underneath your head. So the first thing we're going to do is just allow your elbows to relax. If you feel a little bit too tight in that chest, we can squeeze those elbows down and release. So a little bit of squeezes will get you looser into that chest and shoulder blade movement. Now lower back again. Find that lower back neutral position. So few pelvic tilts, and then find your neutral. Ribs should be down. Now again, of your sequence of your abdominal work. So we're going to start with feet on the floor. Then we're going to progress today with one leg into tabletop. You don't need to, but it's a progression. So take a breath in. Keep your head in contact with your hands. Breathe out, chin nod, and then slide your ribs to hips, and then come back down. So breathe out, lift. Breathe in, lower. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, lower. Again, as you come up, you're not squashing that lower back into the mat. You are keeping that neutral position. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. And out. And in. 3. Really focusing on sliding those ribs to hips. 2. One more. We're going to try hold it there. We're going to lift your right leg up, and then we drop it down. Lift right leg up, drop it down. So we're lifting up until your knee is right on top of hip. 5. Don't drop through that chest. 4. 3. 2. 1. Drop the head. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Come back up again. Hold. Left leg. We go up. We drop down. We go up. We drop down. Now, if you're comfortable, make sure your ribs are in line with hips. See if you can let go of one hand, and then see if you can let go of the other. If you're managing to hold yourself up without too much tension into your neck, that means that you have improved a little bit more into your strength in your abdominals. If then after a bit your neck starts kicking in, it's all about endurance. So it doesn't matter if you bring back one of your hands or even both. 2 more. One last one. And then drop down. Very good. Now we're going into a little bit of rotation. So a bit of your obliques so that we can progress into your crisscross. So we're going to take a breath in. We're going to breathe out, come up and center. We're going to rotate a little bit to the left and then center, rotate to the other side, center, and then we drop. So we are pivoting over that top bit of your upper abdominals. Take a breath in again. Breath out, lift. Breathe in, twist. Breathe out, center. Breathe in, twist. Breathe out, center, and then drop. Let's do 4 more of those. Take a breath in. Breath out, lift. Breathe in, twist. Breathe out, center. Breathe in, twist. Breathe out, center, then drop. 3 more. Breathe in. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, twist. Breathe out, center. Breathe in, twist. Breathe out, center, and drop. 2 more. Breathe in. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, twist. Breathe out, center. Breathe in, twist. Breathe out, center, and drop. We have one last one. Take a breath in. Breath out, lift. Twist. Breathe in. Breathe out, center. Breathe in. Breathe out, center, and drop. Very good. Stretch a little bit the legs and arms overhead. Give yourself a second. Take a breath in. Stay there. Breathe out. Breathe in again. And breathe out. So we're going to do into a little bit of a crisscross. So not a full crisscross that we normally would do in your intermediate, but into a half crisscross. So bring your hands underneath your head again. So this time, rather than doing it slow, we're going to come up, breathe out. And we're going to go twist, 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 center, drop. So we're going to do 4 twists and then we drop, okay? So take a breath in. Breathe out, lift, twist, 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 center, drop. Very good. Take a breath in. Let's do 4 more of those. Up, twist, 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 center, drop. Take a breath in. Breath out, lift, twist, 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 center, drop. You have 2 more. Breath in, breath out, lift, and twist. So keep twisting. If you feel that you're getting too tired, just do a single twist on each side. Last one. We lift, we twist, 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 center, drop. And again, stretch arms overhead and legs. So you should feel most of this through the upper part of your abdominals, because that's where we mostly worked on. We'll focus a little bit on your lower in a second, but take a stretch here. Take a breath in. Breathe out. 1 more. And breathe out. Very good. Fold your knees back in. You're going to grab hold of one weight if you want. If you want both, you can do that as well. So we're going to lift and hover your hands. We're going to keep them there. So you're going to find your center through the lower back. So in a neutral spine position, thinking of ribs in line with hips. We're going to hold it there. Again, thinking of your obliques. We're going to hover your left leg. We're going to go into a bit of dead bug. So we're going to reach your right hand away, left leg away, and then pull it in. Reach away, pull it in. So as your knee goes away, it straightens. As you come back in, it folds. So what we're doing here is controlling your pelvis. Now, what I want you to try and do is, if you start to feel that you have a little bit more pressure on the left side of the back of your pelvis, so the bony pit of your pelvis. Put a bit more pressure also on the right. That creates an equal pressure through your tailbone and gives you a bit more stability through your core and your pelvic floor. So sometimes what happens is that we have one side that pulls more because it's stronger, but we need the other side to compensate. So even if we're doing left side leg, your right side core should still be active, especially if we're doing right side hand. 2. One more. And come back to neutral. Fold that leg back down. Take a breath in here. Breath out, we're going to fold your right leg up. So now you should feel that even when you lift your right leg up, you have a bit more pressure, almost like if you had to tilt, you have more weight onto the right. I want you, that tailbone, to have equal pressure also on the left. So we're going to reach that right leg and left hand away and then fold back in. Now you keep that pressure on either side by trying to think of imprinting that tailbone down onto the left side. Now you might not manage, but even thinking about it will activate that side of your muscle. And always remember, you're breathing in, you're breathing out. You're not holding your breath, otherwise your core won't work. And again, that lower back, try keep it not completely squashed down. It's in a neutral position. Very good. So we are using your obliques here into this dead bug position, loading your spine and your core. Your legs is also working for 4. Very good. 3. If you struggle with keeping your leg into tabletop, you can also just slide it. 1 more. Very good. Drop the weights down and well done. Take a breath in here. Breath out. You can even do a few pelvic tilts. You can do a clock if you want for your pelvis. Just releasing any pressure into your sacroiliac joint or your lower back. Very good. Let's work your lower abdominals a tiny bit more into that scissor position. So just move your weight a little bit away. Find that center through your lower back. Hands by your side. Bring your feet folded a little bit closer. And then we're going to lift, hover one leg. Draw, imagine you have a belt on the front between those front hip bones. You're going to tighten that belt and then breathe out, lift the other leg next to it. And then we drop again the right, we drop again the left. So we're going to repeat that movement. So when you lift and hover both legs into tabletop, you're thinking of tightening that belt from the bottom on the front of your belly. And you're also thinking of bringing those sitting bones together from the back. And that gives you front and back stability. So take a breath in, breathe out, tighten that front belt, squeeze the back, lift, lift, drop, drop. Take a breath in, breath out, tighten that belt, draw the tailbone, sitting bones together, and then drop and drop. So the most important thing, you want to keep going with this. You want to breathe out as you lift and have both legs into tabletop, is that you're not doming. So doming means that your tummy is full of air and you're not actually engaging it when you're lifting the legs up. So it's really, really important that we do activate, even if your lower abdominals are the weakest we have. But they work in symphony with your pelvic floor to stabilize your pelvis, and also in symphony with your upper abdominal work, which tend to be much more stronger than the lower. So again, what we're trying to do is load slowly. If you feel that your ankle being away from your bottom is a little bit too much load, keep your ankle close, and just rather than lifting into tabletop, you're just hovering the legs up towards that tabletop, but your ankle is closer. So you don't need to have them open through the knees. We have 4 more. Keep breathing in and out. The minute you start losing form could be the point where you're getting fatigued. So you just need to regroup, take a second, and then continue on your own. 3, 2, 1. Now, if you're comfortable, stay with both legs up. We're going to do your hundreds. You have a choice to keep your hands and head onto the floor. You have a choice to keep your legs there. If you want to stabilize a bit more through your pelvis, squeeze your knees and ankles. If you want to stay there, but it's a little bit too much for you, drop your heels, see if that makes a difference for you. So we're tapping, as if you're tapping over water. You're going to take a breath in. So this is an endurance type of exercise, and breathe out. So we're breathing in, tapping for 5, breathing out, tapping for 5. Now, if you want to push it, you can lift chin to chest, lifting and hovering those heads. If you don't, and you feel it's a little bit too much, drop the head. Take a breath in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. 2 more breaths, breathing in. Keep drawing in that lower belly button, breathing out. 1 more breath. And out. And then fold knees to chest, well done. And hug knees to chest, and just hold it there. Give yourself a stretch. Tapping sometimes gives you a little bit of a rhythm, and it overcomes your stimulus in your brain of how fatigued you are. So sometimes clapping or tapping can help. Very good. And now lower your legs down and open your feet as wide as your mat. And we're going to rotate your legs, open arms out. We're going to bring your legs to one side as far as you're comfortable going. If you have any hip issues, don't push into that pain. We're trying to open it, but if you cannot, don't worry. And then we go the other side. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. 3, 2, 1 more. Very good. Bring feet together and rotate them to one side and turn yourselves up. And I want you to come up onto your hands and knees. So the next bit we're going to do is onto your hands and knees. So we're turning slowly. And now we're going to focus on your upper body. So your upper body and upper back and shoulders. So we're going to bring our hands right underneath those shoulders and knees right underneath your hips. So into that tabletop position. First thing we're going to do is mobilize your upper back. So we're going to do a few chest drops, squeezing the shoulder blades together and then lifting it up. Think of your chest, breastbone being nice and heavy, and then lifting it being nice and light away from the mat. So dropping it down, lifting it away. Dropping it down, lifting it away. Dropping it down, lifting it away. So again, a few more movements. 3, activating those shoulder blade muscles. 2, that you need for stability. 1 more. Now we're going to go into a little bit of a thread the needle. So left hand goes up towards the ceiling. Breathe out, roll it down and under. And then left hand goes up again. And then rolling it down. I want you to try and keep your hips up. So don't sit backwards as you're going down. Don't sit back as you're going up. 1 more. Fold that hand, bring it back underneath the shoulder. We do the other way. So we bring the right hand up and then we rotate under. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. 3, and out. 2, and out. 1 more. Come back to center, very good. And then just sit right back. Bring both hands on top of each other and a bit more rotation. So drop the shoulder one side, drop the other way. Again, if you can't kneel all the way, Put a towel in between your knees to give you a little bit of space. If you have any knee issues, you can't kneel. You can do this on a chair as well for 3, 2, 1 more. Very good. And then come back. So now we're going to challenge a little bit your upper body. So let's start a little bit of loading. So when you're in this position, when we did the shoulder drops, that's almost like doing your pelvic tilts to find your center. So you don't want it too close together through your shoulder blades. You neither want it too far apart. So you just want to be somewhere in the middle. Shoulders aren't shrugged. They are a little bit away from your ears. So we're going to start easy with your left hand. Again, through your lower back, remember you're keeping that neutral spine. So imagine you're balancing a glass on your lower back and chin is in. So you're not dropping your head down or lifting it too high up. Left hand to start off with. We're going to bring it slowly parallel to that bottom. And then we're going to bring a semicircle over and drop. So we bring it up, palms up, and then we rotate, bring it forward and up, and then down. So imagine you're creating a D shape with the hand. You're drawing the line straight down as you go to your bottom, and then we rotate into that big belly of the D. We have 3. So whilst we're doing this with the left, apart from a bit of mobility work into that shoulder blade, you're getting an isometric load through your right shoulder. One last one. So you really want to keep as stable as possible. Now let's do your right. So shift the weight onto your left, you hover the right hand, you bring a semicircle up and over, drop. Lift, semicircle up and over, drop. Again, if you feel that your wrists are a little bit too sore and you need a bit of a break, you can always come off and you have a little bit of a break. Over, drop. 3, over, drop. 2, over, drop. 1 more. Very good. And again, sit back, give yourself a little bit of a break. Very good. So you should feel it really nice and warm through your shoulder blades. Now you can roll a little bit your shoulders into sitting. We're going to load it a tiny bit more before we lie onto your tummy. So we're going back into that all 4-point position. Again, weight onto your hands, weight onto your knees. We're going to start going into that plank. So we're going to bring your arms a little bit wider, not too wide. So we're going to curl your right leg and we're going to reach that leg straight. So this is what we're going to start off with first and then bring it in. We're going to curl and reach, bring it in, curl and reach. And by doing this, you start to also mobilize through your joint of your big toe, little bit of a tiny stretch through your calf, and learn to get a little bit of stability by changing load from one leg to the other. Almost like a 1-leg reach, but in a 4-point position. And you're also close chain, so you're keeping in contact with the mat. 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to reach your right leg, we're going to hold. Reach your left leg into that plank, we fold the right, we fold the left. Reach right. Slowly reach left. Drop, drop. Very good. So we're loading now into that plank. We're trying to keep a nice straight position through the back of your head, those shoulder blades, through to your tailbone. We have 3 more, nice and slow. Reach, reach, drop, drop. 2 more. Drop, drop. 1 more. Drop, drop. Sit back for me. We have 1 more progression of that. Good stuff. Take a breath in. You can sit up if you like. Roll those shoulders back. 3, 2. Very good. 1 more. So we have 2 more things on hands. One is the harder one, and then we'll do a little bit of press ups, which is a little bit easier. So bring yourself back into that 4-point position. Again, we're going to progress that plank position, okay? So we're going to reach your right leg, hold, reach your left. Then we're going to lift, hover your right, drop, left, drop, fold it down. Okay? So you want to keep your back nice and straight. Take a breath in. Breathe out, straighten your right. Lift your right, left. Now lift your right leg up, drop. Left leg up, drop, fold in, fold in. Very good. We have 4 more. Take a breath in. Breath out, reach. Reach. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. Fold, fold. If you need to take a break because you feel a little bit too much, do so. We're going to do 2 more. Reach, lower. Reach, lower. Fold, fold. 1 more. Reach, reach. Up, up. Drop, drop. And open your knees out and let's sit right back into that child's pose. Fold your hands and rest your head under your hands. And just hold it there. So I just want you to take a big breath in. Breathe out. Breathe in again. Breathe out. One last one. Breathe in. And breathe out. Very good. One last thing for your arms. This is mostly arm work, but it also will work into your core. So the last bit we're doing in all fours, we're going to bring yourselves into a single leg. So we're going to reach one leg out into that Superman position. Then what we're going to do is open your hands slightly out and we're going to do a press up, but a tricep dip. So we're going to fold the elbows, reach nose towards the floor, and then we come back up. So arms are loaded down and then come back up. We have 3, we come back up. 2, if you feel like you cannot lift the leg, you can keep the toes touching the floor to have a little bit less weight. Now we hold halfway, and all I want you to do is with that leg, if it's touching the floor, hover it and circle the leg for 4, 3, 2, circle the other way for 4, 3, 2, 1. Fold the knees, come off your hands. Very good. So you're going to feel it in your hands this time. Roll the shoulders again. So we're going to do the same onto the other leg. Again, if you feel unbalanced and you feel that your pelvis or your pelvic floor is a little bit uncomfortable with one leg, just keep the toe touching the floor. So we're going to go back on all fours. We're going to reach your left leg. Again, either hover it or keep it touching the floor. It doesn't matter. Even you can flex your toes for this. We're going to do your elbow bend again. So we're going to press down. We're going to lift up. Press down. Lift up. So you can imagine, if you can manage holding that leg off, go for it. If not, you can keep the legs straight, touching the floor. You can also keep both knees underneath you and just do your press up. 3, 2, we're going to hold it halfway and let's do your circles one way with the leg. 4, 3, 2, 1, opposite. So it's an isometric hold for your elbows. 3, 2, 1. Fold the knees, open the knees again and sit right back. Fold your hands and just rest. You can even swiggle from one hip to the other if you like. Very good for 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Very good. Come up slowly. Roll those shoulders. Very good. So we're going to come onto your side. So slowly going to start coming up into sitting and then into standing. So we're going to bring ourselves towards your left side. So left hand, and you're lying onto the side of your left hip. Left hand can be straight, but if you're a little bit too sore into the shoulders and the hand, you can fold it onto your elbow. So entirely up to you. We are going to do a lift, an arm opening, and then we drop, okay? So you have a choice. Legs can be either on top of each other, knees on top of each other, and ankles as well, or top leg can be straight, okay? I'll show you what we're about to do. If you have both legs on top of each other, what I'd really like you to do is try and not have your top knee further forwards than the bottom, because that means that your pelvis is tilted. So you want to keep it symmetrical. Knees on top of each other and ankles as well. So you're going to go up and over, bringing the hands halfway. We roll into an arm opening. We go back up and then we drop. So this is your easy version. A bit harder, come up onto your hands. We go up and over, bring it halfway, rotate, come up, and then drop. And a little bit harder, leg is straight. So we reach up and over, halfway, under, lift, drop, whatever you want. So let's go 4 more. Reach over, come back halfway, rotate under, up, and down. 3 more. Breathe in, breathe out, lift. Halfway, under, reach up, and drop. 2 more. Reach, come back, halfway, reach, and lower. 1 last one. Up and over, breathing out, breathing in, coming halfway, breathe out, breathing in, and breathe out. Very good. Bring your top leg towards the back, coming into that mermaid position, and that hand closer to the floor, which should be your left. We're going to reach up and we're going to lean up and over. So we stretch open that side of your spine. Just hold it there. Take a breath in. Thinking of those fingers lengthening away. So you're stretching all the way through the bottom of your shoulder blade into the side of your hip, and really trying to maintain that left hip as much as you can down to the floor. Again, lengthen through the fingertips. Breathe out. 1 more hold. Breathe out. And then drop it down. Very good. Swing your legs all the way the other side. So you'll have your right leg on the bottom. Again, you can choose. Hand can be straight, hand can be bent, leg can be bent as long as they're on top of each other for an asymmetrical pelvis or a straight leg, however you prefer. So I'm going to start with a hand straight. Whatever you do, don't sink into that shoulder, lengthen away. And I'm going to start with the leg nice and straight. So again, we breathe in, we breathe out, we lift. Breathe in halfway, breathe out, rotate. Breathe in again, and breathe out lower. So your breath, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. 2 more, reach. Again. And out, and then drop. Last one, breathe in, breathe out. Halfway, breathe out, up, and then drop. Well done. Bring that back leg backwards and slightly slide your front right leg. And again, right hand, you're going to go up and over, lengthen through those fingertips, reaching up. Try and make sure that you don't rotate your chest forwards. Keep it nice and open. Hold it there. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Lengthen a bit more through those fingertips. Breathe in. Breathe out. 1 more. And out. Bring your hands back down. Bring your legs cross-legged if you can. If you cannot stay cross-legged, your other option would be feet forwards, okay? If you manage to stay cross-legged, reach for your hand weights. So you'll have an option to use your hand weights. You don't need to, but this is going up into standing later on. So we're going to work a little bit more onto your shoulders. So again, smile through that collarbone and keep your chin slightly in. So imagine you're nice and elongated through your spine. Your ribs are right on top of your hips, so you're not arching too far forward or slouching down. If you cannot to stay upright and you're feeling too tight, you can also use your towel. As I always say, sometimes if you're very tight into your lower back and hamstrings, having a little bit of a towel to try and keep you a bit more upright will help. So we're going to use into the arms. So we're going to start off by bringing your arms halfway, and then we're going to open out, squeezing those shoulder blades, and then coming back. Breathing in, breathing out. Now, if you want to, you can do all of this with the weights into your hands. So this will start bringing your arm and shoulder strength a little bit more, taking it up a level. We're trying to keep a very nice upright posture. If having your weights into your hand will feel a little bit too much onto your spine, then just remove them. 4, back, 3, back, 2, 1. We're going to open out and hold. We're going to turn palms up, palms down, palms up, palms down for 4, 3, 2. Keep squeezing those shoulders. 1. Now keep palms forward. We circle back for 5, 4. So soft through the elbows. 3, 2, 1. Change direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to fold the elbow slightly. We're going to do what we did before. We're going to bring one elbow down, rotate, and now we're going to switch. So we slowly rotate and slowly rotate, slowly rotate. Really kicking into those shoulder muscles. So keeping those elbows up and we're rotating. If you have any sharp pain into those shoulders, drop the weights. 3, 2, well done. 1, very good. Drop the weights, well done. That should burn into your shoulders even if you didn't have any weights. 3, 2, 1. Now roll them forwards for 3, 2, 1. Very good. Now bring one hand up and over to the other side. 3, 2, 1. Switch over the other way. 3, 2, 1. Very good. Roll them back again. 3, 2, 1. Very good. We're going to put the weights aside. We're going to slowly come up onto your standing position. So we're going to turn on your hands and knees again. Bring your knees under. This time we're going to slowly curl your toes, push your hips up to ceiling, straighten the legs, and then we drop them back down. So we're going to do that 3 more times. Breathing in, breathing out, push, and then fold. Breathing in, breathing out, push, and then fold. 2 more. Breathing in, breathing out, push, and then fold. 1 more. Breathing in, breathing out. We hold it there, and we're going to slowly bend the knees, but walk your hands towards your feet. We're going to hold at the bottom. Take a breath in, and then breathe out. Roll your spine back up. We're going to repeat your roll down for 3 times. Breathe in, breathe out, chin to chest, rolling your spine all the way down toward your toes. Take a breath in, and then breathe out, roll up. Rolling the shoulders as you come up, right? 2 more times. So you can breathe in, breathe out, chin to chest, rolling down, and then rolling back up. Roll the shoulders. 1 last time. Take a breath in, breathe out, chin to chest, rolling down, dropping towards the floor, and then coming back up. Roll the shoulders, big round circles for 3, coming to the front of the mat, 2, or in the middle of the mat. 1 more. Very good. So the last few things is opening up through the hips. We're going to take a wide squat. Again, any issues through your pelvis or your pelvic floor, just take it as you wish. You're going to go down, breathe in, reaching up with the arms, and then breathe out. Breathing in, breathing out. Any issues with the hips and you can't do it in this wide plie position, you can turn into parallel. It's almost like a normal squat, but rather than reaching hands overhead, you reach forwards. So rather than going up overhead, you reach forwards. If you manage, just keep going into that wide position. We have 4, 3, 2. Then we're going to hold it halfway. Stay there. As we did before, we pulse, we circle backwards, not pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go forwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the right arm in front and reach over with the left. A big mermaid bend. Take a breath in. Stay here. Breathe out. One more. Slowly breathe out, lift. Open the arms, we do the other side. Bring your left hand forwards, right hand over. Take a breath in. Breath out. Breathe in. Breathe out, come back to center. Bring the hands down, bring your feet in. Roll the shoulders back. We're going to stretch through your legs before we finish. Right leg forwards, left leg back. We're going to bend forward towards your right knee. Keep your left heel down, hips pointing forwards. And we're going to keep your ribs right on top of hips, flat, and interlace your fingers, drop down, reach up through those hands. Take a breath in, stay. Breathe out. One more. Breathe out, slowly drop the hands. If you manage, back leg, bring it into your hand. Squeeze through that hip. If you need to hold. This is not a balance exercise. It's more to stretch open your hip and your quad. 3, 2, 1. Drop it down. Opposite leg. So left leg, right leg goes back. Bend your front knee. Keep your heel of your right back leg down. Hips forwards. Clasp your fingers again. Drop and lift. Take a breath in. This time we're going to take a twist. So drop your right hand forwards. Left hand goes back. Take a breath in here. Breathe out, lift the arms and back to center. And we're going to turn the other way slowly. Breath in. Breath out, left hand goes forwards, right hand goes back. And then come back to center. We're going to drop the hands, come up and bring and get hold of your back leg. Again, holding it there so that you can stretch through the front of your hip. Clench your bottom forwards, open up that quad and hip. Take a breath in and then breathe out. Drop, roll the shoulders back. We're going to do 2 roll downs to finish. Bend through the knees, reach and fall down, chin to chest. Roll your spine down towards your toes. Take a breath in, breath out, roll up. Reach up again one last time. Breath in, breath out, chin to chest, rolling down, holding at the bottom even if your knees are bent, and just swing a little bit side to side. Ease off any tension that might have built up towards the end of the class. Take a breath in. You should feel a little bit more looser through the back of your legs. And then stop in the center and then roll your spine back up. Rolling the shoulders. And you should have a nice open posture and your upper body should feel nice and strong. All good? Thank you for joining the class and let me know if you have any issues. And I hope to see you next week.